on a4. Indeed, if the black king goes on this journey to capture the a4 pawn, the king will be stepping outside of the square of the b pawn, and the b pawn is free to go and make a queen. Well, this is an assumption that we're making, and that this assumption is going to be correct in most cases. More of that later. But let's talk about what other things that the b5 pawn can do. It is keeping the black king in its square. So we count 1, 2, 3, and 3 the other way. 1, 2, 3. Well, that creates the square in which the black king has to stay in order to be able to keep an eye on that pawn. So that's 2. What's the third one? Just bear with me. Alright, we're looking at this situation. What does white need to do to win the game? He needs to gain space for his king. He needs to approach his b pawn with the king. Well, let's just see how it would play out. First step is to somehow gain the fourth rank, which is now controlled by the black king. The position of the kings is commonly referred to as the opposition. Indeed, the kings oppose each other, and they're separated by just one rank. What it does, that the side with the turn cannot advance the king. In this case, well, white's on the move, and he just cannot come up on the fourth. So what he's gonna do is the following. He's gonna take this battle away from the pawn. The first move is king e3. Black answers with king e5. Notice, he's still in the square. And now white takes one more step, king f3. And that's where the difference comes into play. The black king no longer can continue playing this game. Going to f5 would let the pawn out of his set. So he can't do this. Alright. Black then switches off to what is referred to as diagonal opposition. Diagonal oppositions have tendency to translate very quickly into regular oppositions, be it the frontal one, which we already saw, or possibly a sideways one. Well, you immediately notice that in this case black is unable to maintain this opposition sideways for the same reason. The pawn will go.